afternoon. All happy February 4th day here. Y'all for watching. We've got a lot of things to talk about today in the weather world, as always. Cold air, severe weather tomorrow, possibly some severe weather on Thursday, and multiple ice and snow and very frigid temperatures behind that as we go into the end of this week and next week as we get closer to Valentine's. So I'm gonna give you guys a brief update on all of this as always. You guys know we'll be live on TikTok later on this evening night. We'll do two separate live streams on TikTok tonight. So make sure y'all head over there this afternoon and tonight to watch those streams, and we'll answer everybody's questions as always. We'll start out here as always with our below average and above average temperature map. We can see in the orange and the red down here along the southeast and into Florida, we have above average temperature still at play at least and through next Sunday and Monday. This is basically a 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. And so anybody in the orange is going to expect to see temperatures could be 5 to 15, 20 degrees above average, especially the darker red temperatures down towards central Florida. And then up here towards the majority of the United States, we've now got below average temperatures expected for the West Coast, the Central Plains, the Midwest, portions of the Ohio Valley, getting into the Northeast. And that is going to be due to another Arctic blast. We'll have two waves of Arctic air that come down the beginning of next week and then the following week into the third week and fourth week of February. We'll get into that more as we that event happening, but I want to give you guys an idea on what's going to be happening with that. So those darker blue colors basically indicate colder temperatures. The lighter blue, a little bit colder temperatures, but not as extreme. The further west you go, the worse potential temperatures will be. Now, we do have severe weather, guys. Believe it or not, we have severe weather now. It's crazy to say that. We've been talking about this for a good amount of time now. It's a low wind severe weather threat for tomorrow. And believe it or not, I'm actually personally right outside that border of where the severe weather is at for tomorrow. But we got a marginal risk for tornadoes and wind tomorrow. And this is going to be an interesting threat. And the reason I say that is because this is what we call a high shear, low cape day. We get a lot of these. A lot of times they don't do anything. We had one a couple days ago that didn't really do anything. But the difference with tomorrow's threat than what we had last time was there's higher SRH values, basically relative helicity, the storm relative helicity values that can help increase a little bit of spin, make up for that instability lack. And so if you're in Western Kentucky, Southern Kentucky, Madisonville, Bowling Green, Campbellsville, Elizabethton, Danville, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, down into Tennessee, Clarksville, Nashville, Jackson, Murfreesboro, Cookeville, you guys can be mindful tomorrow night. This is going to be an late evening, overnight threat tomorrow through the morning hours of Thursday for an isolated tornado or two. As always, guys, we will be covering this live on TikTok as always. So make sure y'all watch that as we do. But I got to watch this very closely as well because we're right outside of this, and this has been shifting around a lot. Originally, with the previous update, it was down here into southern Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama, and they went ahead and shifted that north due to more confidence in where it's going to actually happen at. So if you're in this area, 2% tornado risk and a 5% threat for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Now, what is this going to look like on our model runs here? And we'll kind of watch this. We're going to keep you guys updated with this throughout the day, as always, and through tomorrow. But very interesting threat. We could get one storm, we could get two storms, we get zero, we could get a couple. So this is one of those days where you just need to be very, very mindful. I do think they might shift back down south again due to more storms developing. So this is going to be potentially happening as soon as early tomorrow morning. So we'll see a couple scattered cells in Mississippi and northern Alabama tomorrow before the main event. This is kind of like a little extra front that's going to basically come through with some extra precip and some showers and some storms. And then tomorrow night is when things get interesting. We're going to see the threat for a couple isolated low top supercells that could develop in that marginal risk tomorrow. This would be overnight tomorrow night into the hours of Thursday. And then as we go towards Thursday, I would think that there would be some type of severe weather threat that would get issued for eastern Tennessee, portions of maybe western North Carolina into Virginia there in eastern Kentucky. So we'll watch that as well for Thursday if SPC does decide to issue anything on that. Another thing I want to show you guys is going to be the instability that's going to be in the atmosphere. We're going to have just enough instability for things to turn over if the atmosphere does in fact allow that to happen. Sometimes you get nothing out of these, sometimes you get a bunch of stuff out of these, so that's why we're watching it. But instability will be in play through majority of tomorrow morning into the afternoon and the overnight hours. So just enough there in that green shaded color for instability across that marginal risk zone as we go through the day. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. Another thing we're going to talk about, let's talk about our jet stream. What is our jet stream doing? Currently right now, we have still got a ridge down south here, allowing for what's called a zonal jet stream to continue across the United States. You can already see our winter storm developing, or our storm for tomorrow in Wednesday and Thursday, I should say, going to be moving across the United States here very, very, very soon. It's actually on the West Coast. So we'll get a little buckle in the jet stream there. This is going to allow for that severe weather threat, ice and winter weather. We'll get to that portion here Wednesday and Thursday. We'll see that move off to the east. We'll have another more identical storm to this on Saturday and Sunday. Could see more snow out of this up here into the Great Lakes and Minnesota, Wisconsin, and then some ice and some weather again, possibly in the lower portions of the Ohio Valley. Not quite certain on that yet. We'll get to you guys on that once we get more information on that. And then we start to enter that pattern change. And I was talking about that big dark blue shaded area for majority of the United States as we go towards that second week of February here. And we're going to see what we call again is a northwesterly flow coming out of Canada. Not a very strong one like we had last time, but enough to allow for cold air to be in place. We're going to start to see these low pressure systems move up out of the west and into Dixie Alley here, giving us the shot for some type of severe weather next week, maybe. Again, as we go towards the Valentine's week time frame, we're going to see a couple of these little disturbances move through, as well as the threat for maybe even a major winter storm in the Ohio Valley if the models can figure that out. We're still waiting in on that, and then a couple more dips in the jet stream before we start to see a very, very active pattern as we go towards February, possibly the beginning of March. Another thing I want to show you guys here is going to be that precip run. Where are we going to be seeing the ice, the rain, etc.? We've got an atmospheric river continuing on the west coast there. Lots of rain benefiting California. We've got very, very heavy snow in the higher elevations of California. The Cascadia mountain ranges up towards Washington and Oregon, and then down towards the Sierra Nevadas there. Be very, very mindful. I know the ski resorts are definitely very, very happy of having that snow. That system's going to work its way east, and here's our threat, guys. We're going to have some pretty decent shot of some ice and some snow up into Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Great Lakes there near Michigan. That ice is what we're going to have to watch, and this is where I start to get concerned when we see those darker red pockets there, northern Illinois, northern Indiana, getting into Ohio, and then eventually into PA on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So if you're out driving in this, be very, very mindful, be very, very careful. We could see some pretty significant ice accumulations with this. It takes a tenth of an inch of ice to basically cause tree branches to snap, power outages, and people to slip and when they're driving on the road. So be very, very mindful of that. We'll get to more of those ice accumulations on the stream this afternoon and tonight as we get more information on that. Not quite certain on those yet. We'll get to that here in just a little bit. And then we're going to get a second storm that's going to come in on Saturday and Sunday with the same ice in the same areas. This could be a little bit more of a bigger icing event and bigger snow event for Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and then back up into the Northeast on Sunday and Monday. And then guess what, guys? We're not done after that. We possibly get another severe weather threat here with some winter weather down into the mid-Atlantic and the lower Ohio Valley again late next week before we get that cold Arctic air to come in, and then possibly a couple more storms that could develop over that time frame. So a lot of weather going to be happening over the next couple of days. We'll keep you guys updated on that. I will show you guys one more thing here. Let's get those snowfall totals in for this week here. We'll talk about the ice on the stream here this afternoon, but this is our snowfall totals through Sunday as of right now. And you can see a good 5 to 8 inch swath of snow from Minnesota through Wisconsin, back across Michigan there into New York. Buffalo going to probably get some lake effects banding snow again, probably some higher accumulations in localized spots. And then we really get a bullseye over the Northeast. So Maine, portions of northeastern New York there, getting into Boston, Massachusetts, potentially there as well. So if you like snow in the Northeast, you definitely have a pocket of, or a chance of getting that. And then as we get towards the Sunday time frame as well, like I said, we'll have some type of ice accumulation with a little bit of severe weather down south here. So we'll give you guys updates on that as the rest of the day goes on here. I do appreciate you all for watching this video. Stay safe, be weather aware, and have a happy Tuesday.